Hey legends, this is Magnus. How you doing? In this video, I'm reacting to a video from the YouTube channel Star Wars Explained, and he goes with the title of his video, Why You Shouldn't Skip Star Wars Animated Series. Now, as you all likely know from my previous videos, I very much adore and have a high value toward animation, and Star Wars animated series are some of my favorite stuff to watch, including The Bad Batch, which is currently airing. So, and something that I do know very much is that many people have a thought process when it comes to animated movies that or and TV that it's for children, and I can understand where that comes from. But this video is going into why you could at least consider watching it. And I haven't seen this video yet. I just want to get a raw reaction to it, and hopefully he hits on very much the points that I feel. So let's get straight into this. Please comment, like, subscribe, share this video. Hope you enjoy it. React to my madness. Star Wars Explained. If at all you ever see this, thank you for making this video and the content that you have made over the years. It's nice to find Star Wars fans as dedicated as you are. So let's check this out.
It's so nice to have the Bad Batch back after Andor. Do not misunderstand me. I loved Andor. It's my favorite Star Wars series. However, I do agree with many fans' sentiments that it lacked the wackier, more pulpy side of the universe. Every week, people would ask us where all the aliens were, for example. Well, they're all in Star Wars animation. With the Bad Batch's return, I thought today would be a good time to talk about animated Star Wars stories and their benefits over live action, especially for fans who may have never given any of these series a try. If you're one of those people, let me start by saying that I used to be one of you. I was in college when the Clone Wars began, and I pretty much laughed it off. For a lot of fans, they grew up with the Clone Wars, but I
Me,
was 21 when it started, and I was very much of the opinion that a Star Wars cartoon would be stupid. I would occasionally hear something like Darth Maul was coming back from the dead, and I laughed and I was like, see? In 2015, I started the channel, and I begrudgingly accepted that I couldn't have this massive blind spot. I would have to watch the cartoons. I was now 28, and I was going to start with Star Wars Rebels since it was just beginning. I remember seeing the art style and groaning and having some very Disney is ruining Star Wars style thoughts.
I'm sorry. I just got to pause for a quick minute. I have never thought that Elliot, which is hopefully his name, I never thought he was that kind of person. I never thought that from him. Like he does reviews on the Clone Wars episodes and the Bad Batch episodes. He reviews the animated series, so I'm like, I never thought he was that kind of person at one point.
Spinning lightsabers, dumb. But I committed to giving it a shot. And yeah, it took 4 episodes, but it started to grow on me. By the end of the season, I was hooked and downright excited for season 2. And thankfully, I had all of the Clone Wars to watch while I waited. I won't pretend that series doesn't have some rough early episodes, but Rebels had
Yeah,
already won me over, and basically the same story played out. I got more and more invested. I got to the Maul stuff and saw how wrong I was to think his return would be cheap and stupid.
thank you. Because okay, the first season, absolutely, it if you're in for action like the first season of Clone Wars, it is very much a kid show, pretty much. But season two onwards, it starts getting more mature. Then once you get to about season, definitely, I think 4, 5, and 6 back to back, it doesn't really hold back any punches.
I credit Rebels and the Clone Wars with really changing my attitude about Star Wars in general, and they showed me that I was missing out on a completely unique aspect of the universe because Star Wars animation gets to be weird. I think the fact that it generally has a smaller but more invested audience means it can be a little riskier. We can see things like Mortis or the World
Yes.
Between Worlds. We can get entire episodes about droids wandering through the desert discussing
Yep.
mortality with Meeber Gascon. I'm
Yep.
not saying everything is a home run, but Star Wars animation takes bigger swings than live action usually does, and I appreciate
Right.
that. Show us something new, and if it works, expand upon it. We have seen hints of stuff like Mortis in live action, even in Andor, arguably the least weird Star Wars thing that exists.
Yeah.
And to bring things back to that original criticism of Andor and its lack of aliens, I think animation can be weirder because there simply aren't as many constraints. I'm not saying animation is easy, far from it, but if the writers want the Bad Batch to be chased by giant crabs, I think the path
You
to
can do it.
accomplishing that is more clear. You don't have to make the crabs look real, they simply have to fit the art style. All that matters is that the audience believes they fit this world. Or look at Mandalorians flying around in animation versus live action. They're doing crazier stunts, and it fits perfectly because the animators don't have to rely on wires or blending CGI into real assets. I think
That is a very good point because now that I think about it, pretty much in the Mandalorian, when Mandalorians use jetpacks, they are only ever going either up, forward in a diagonal way, or going down. You never see them do like corkscrews, spins, or different kind of tricks with tricks. Whereas in Clone Wars and Rebels, you see those who use jetpacks do more risky stunts. You see them do more eye-catching stuff.
that's why we see so many more prominent alien characters in animation. In live action, you have to worry about prosthetics and makeup, and honestly, probably contracts and actors who want to have their face clearly shown. In animation, you can have a Lasat walking around every episode, and the audience will believe it just as easily as they would a human. Sometimes I think
Right.
animation has skewed audience perception of live action Star Wars. I think we get so used to seeing all the wild stuff animation has to offer, and it makes us wish for that in live action as well. It makes sense. At this time, there are 270 episodes of canon Star Wars animation. That's nearly 100 hours of screen time. The live action movies total about 22 hours, and the live action series so far come to another 27 or so. Star Wars animation doubles what exists in live action. For many Star Wars
Yeah.
fans, it has set the standard for what Star Wars can be. So I think sometimes, not every time, but sometimes, when fans say they miss the aliens and the pulp and the outright weirdness of Star Wars, what they really mean is they miss Star Wars animation.
Animation.
But I think we're seeing those two sides of the universe become more and more consistent. Ahsoka has been brought into live action, and her upcoming series sounds like it might as well be a sequel to Star Wars Rebels, with multiple characters confirmed to appear. The Mandalorian is bringing in lots of originally animated story elements as well, with its heavy ties to Mandalore and the Darksaber. We're getting closer, but I think Star Wars animation will always be able to offer something different than live action. I'm not saying better, just a different flavor. And if it's one you never thought to try, I say give it a shot. I was completely wrong about my assumptions, and I'm so glad I didn't let them control me. I just wanted to celebrate the return of a full season of Star Wars animation, and if I can convince some fans to try it out for the first time, then I will consider that a huge success. Actually, if you enjoyed Andor, The Bad Batch is a very good companion to it. It explores similar themes, just using different elements of the Star Wars universe. But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with all our Bad Batch coverage, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and consider checking out our Patreon page for video reactions and audio commentaries for every episode as well. As always, thanks for watching, and may the
May the
Force
force
be with
be
you.
with you. So yeah, he very much touched on like very much what I think. I do not think that animation is better than live action. It's just it's different and it can do things differently than live action. For example, the common criticism towards the Disney live action remakes is that the animation can allow you to do things and give off ma- um movie magic in a different way that live action can't. Like you with a live action musical like High School Musical or uh darn it, I forget the oh, okay. Let me use a different example. Descendants. You can get so far with the musical numbers, but with animation you can do much more. For example, under under the sea, can't wait to be king, be prepared. We don't talk about Bruno. Just that example, like we don't talk about Bruno has more of a mix between live action and animation because it's 3D models. versus 2D models, but you see that you can do more with it than live action. And so live action in ways can do better, can have advantages over animation, but animation can also have advantages over live action. So that's, yeah, a lot of that is how I feel. And for those who want to get into Star Wars animation, if a full on series is not your cup of tea or you want to try something smaller than that, I would say try Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. Those are pretty much 5-minute clips. It's talking about two characters. There's Ahsoka and Count Dooku from Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. And for many who are into the animation, like the Count Dooku episodes were definitely the highlight for us because it gave the reason I like it so much is because it gave us a perspective, an origin of Count Dooku that we never had before, except in the books. If you read the books, which I personally barely do. So, and again, books are another form of media that dedicated Star Wars fans like Star Wars Explained does. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Oh, uh, and he already has a review for episode 9 of the Bad Batch, which came out the day of this recording. So I'm about to see that tonight as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. Video question: what is your perspective on Star Wars animation and Star Wars live action projects? Please let me know down in the comments. Once again, Star Wars Explained. If you ever see this, thank you so much for the hard work that you do, and thank you for this specific video. For because of how some people, when they hear that they to watch a cartoon show, they immediately shut it down. And maybe so, like maybe you don't have the time for it and stuff like that, or you have a certain thought of animation. But even trying with one episode or just starting with a certain series can, with his example, with your example, changing how you view Star Wars media. Because often you can look on YouTube. Sorry for this offshoot rant, but look on YouTube. Just search up literally just search this up. Star Wars Clone Wars or the Clone Wars is a kid show. Research, just type that up in YouTube and look at how many joke videos there are that counteract that argument. Because I've literally heard that argument so many times, and the first thing I think of is season 2 onwards, and then especially stuff like the when Darth Maul came back. So, oh, and now to the point where, and now we're at the point where I saw a meme where they say they brought back Darth Maul all in one way, and in the movies they brought Palpatine back in another way. And I thought that was so funny because now so many people view it, do, view the animated series in such a high regard, and Ahsoka in such a high regard, because when watching Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Mandalorian, I believe I said this in a previous video and stuff, but me and my sister watched like the Clone Wars and watched Star Wars Rebels. So when certain characters came on screen or their name was simply spoken, me and my sister screamed our lungs out. We screamed so high at the thought of seeing these characters in live action, and because my parents never saw the animated series, they instantly connected the dots that we know who they're talking about, but they have no idea. So, and I saw that a lot with reacting to Obi-Wan Kenobi episodes and Mandalorian episodes, watching reactions on how half the community would ask who certain somebody is, and then how those who watch those series he's reacted. Like you can immediately tell the difference. Um, Especially with Obi-Wan Kenobi when it comes to the Grand Inquisitor when oh my goodness, when Reva stabbed him in the chest. I that is a epitome moment for me where you know exactly who saw Star Wars Rebels and who didn't, because those who didn't see it just showed shock. Those who saw Star Wars Rebels were shocked, and then questioned, just started saying what. They started saying like, how is this possible? Or like, wait a minute, which was me. I literally reacted like with shock, and then I'm like, wait, you can't do that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for my rant, and this topic just touches my heartstrings in a certain way. So thank you guys so much for 96 subscribers as of the recording of this video. If that subscriber count changes, I will be sure to update it. Likely my 90 subscriber challenge is already up, so I hope y'all check that out. Oh, please comment, like, subscribe, share this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please react to my madness. I will see you in the next one. See you later.